कि बॉस ये स्टोरी नहीं है तेरा स्टोरी क्या है, व्हाट इज योर स्टोरी.
When people start judging you, asking you, आप क्या करते हो?
I like to do time pass.
So coming to this book now, how Sachin destroyed my life.
Why? Because I don't like cars, I don't like watches, and I don't like attention.
When you decided to give up on this big chunk salary and move to something unconventional at that point of time,
This created deep relationship with the players like Sachin or Viru.
there is humor, there is a lot of mixture of corporate understanding of how that game is played.
Even today when I have to answer some old person, they all this is fine, but आप करते क्या हो?
He claims Sachin destroyed his life but got an all-access pass to the world of cricket. As if that was not enough, he started a series called What the Duck, which gives different spin to the game of cricket. That's Vikram Sathe. Welcome to Unstereotype Living Stories Library. We have two Sathes, Vikram and our host Asavari.
Vikram, a lot of people know you as an entertainer, but before all of this, as a cricket insider as well, but before all of this, you have also been a professional, somebody who's had a corporate life, if I may say so, a corporate slave to a certain extent. There would have been some point in your life when all of this changed, right? And there would have been some trigger point where you felt you were not meant for a conventional corporate path. Could you take us down that route? Help us understand what was the trigger point, what really happened there?
So it's all started by me being a failed cricketer. So I played cricket under 19 and very soon I figured out that I was not good enough, and that's why I wrote this book, How Sachin Destroyed My Life, because I always say that he made us look like genetic garbage and therefore we had to choose other professions. But in those times, to get a stable profession means just do an MBA after your graduation so that you get a job which pays you whatever 10,000 rupees a month. And I was very clear that I wanted to be in the sports business. So we all looked up to Harsha and everybody doing commentary. So I used to be a Nautanki in college, get on stage and do imitations of cricketers. But I never thought it would become a profession because we never looked at, there was no stand-up comedy at that point of time. So then said, chalo, do my MBA. But at campus, I did not sit for placements, because I was looking for a media company and I was in Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, and then we didn't have media companies coming to campus. So I came to Mumbai to and joined Professional Management Group, which was Gavaskar's company. Everybody was like, boss, MBA marketing किया है, ये क्यों कर रहा है, Levers, Asian Paints, इतने अच्छे company आ रहे हैं campus पे, why don't you do that? But I was very clear that, I'm doing it because I want a salary, just to get my stability right, but I want to be in and around cricket. That was very clear. So you do the mandatories of education, but you still dabble around the areas which interest you. And that's where I always say to young students also that there are a lot of things that you do in life which are, you have to get it done so that you are in a basic level. Unless your father is worth 1,000 crores, but in my case it was not. So you do the mandatories and then you stick around the areas which you like. And that like is based on your internal need and not what the world says about you. So joining Levers would have been great because people would have perceived me as the cool guy and Asian Paints and the typical FMCG companies. But for me, the journey was internal. I wanted to be around cricket. And the other thing which I always say to students is I like to do time pass. When I say time pass, I like conversations. I like to talk to people. Something I wanted to be in the profession which is about talking and doing time pass. It may sound very frivolous right now, but it was clarity. And then I joined Gavaskar's company, Professional Management Group. After the 1 year, I realized that sports is about broadcasting. And that's when I joined music television, because my mother's a Hindustani classical teacher. Music is in my family. So I said, chalo yaar, music to apne ko acha lagta hai. Little bit of bathroom singing hum bhi kar lete hain. But obviously with an MBA background, I understood that this will also teach me television. Now, because I was very clear that I was not going to get stuck even in the MBA framework, and I was not taking myself too seriously, which I always say, don't take yourself seriously, because then it disallows you from taking irrational decisions. कि यार मेरे को ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, 4 साल के बाद मेरे को ये कर. The moment उसमें अटक गया तो तुम्हारा decision making flawed हो जाता है. Then it is based on which car you want to buy and not what you want.
Absolutely.
But still, I'm doing the mandatories. I'm still doing the corporate job. So I do I do MTV for 4 years. And I'm dabbling. I'm still going on stage with Cyrus Brocha. At that point of time, Cyrus Brocha, Malaika Arora, these are the people who were the VJs. And VJs was big.
Yes.
So many times they used to come in between gaps कि यार विक्रम तू आजा stage पे कुछ सचिन का mimicry कर दे. So I was doing that. So I was in the world that I liked. So suppose you like, say for example, the food industry. You're somebody who likes food. Then why would I take a job in Larsen and Toubro? Even if I've done my MBA, I'll hang around the food world so that my passion is also closer to my profession. That helps you deep dive into areas, and that's when I realized that when I was on stage, something was working. People were laughing, and then my decision making became easier because I was very clear that 7-8 years of corporate life gave me at that point of time 1.5 lakh rupees of saving,
Nice.
which today is like probably people spend in an evening or whatever if they're not a Chambers member and they spend it at Taj. But for me, it was going to buy me say maybe a year. Okay. But then, there was something interesting happened that I thought that India is about cricket and Bollywood. I got a job heading one of the movie marketing companies. And I said, चलो यार, dabbling के पहले ये भी करके देखते हैं कि हिंदी सिनेमा कैसे बनता है. So I said, चलो एक साल ये भी करके देखते. But listen, the whole journey was about what I was liking and exploring. That time I was never even thinking that what people are going through. Achha, I'll be lying. There'll be people when I used to meet them for a drink and said, okay, I've become now brand manager. Yeah. But for me, the journey was mine. So you may become CEO of a global company, but it's not affecting me.
Right.
And that I was very clear about. So if you are clear about what you internally want to satisfy, decision making becomes easy. Then I did 3 Bollywood films of marketing those films. And that's when I got the offer to do extra innings. 2003, the Mandira Bedi was being launched, and they said that while the programming is happening, you do this 1-minute segments and stuff like that. That's when I realized that, boss, this is an area now I can try and deep dive into it by leaving my job. I was vice president marketing then. But I said, let me get a sense of where my bank balance was and how much time can I buy. I could buy myself 2 years.
So this is an interesting point. Right?
So I'll say, so this is that moment where I had to take that important decision. Now I leave.
Because, when you talked about being stable, being financially stable, and then looking at an option outside of what you're doing currently, right? Taking that risk or taking that plunge. I'll come to that for now. So when you're at this juncture, and there are these demons that you're fighting. One is, of course, you need to know that at the end of the month, you have some sort of a cushion that's coming in your accounts. But at the same time, you are also trying to understand, if I want to take that plunge, how do I do it?
Yeah.
The other thing is, this is an outside-in issue. But inside of fighting your own demons, what is the society going to think? Log kya kahenge syndrome, When people start judging you, asking you, aap kya karte ho, ab ye kar rahe ho. So how did you sort of manage that kind of a setup?
So even today, when I have to answer some old person, all this is fine, but aap karte kya ho? So I get this question even today. But as I said in the beginning, I was very clear about the fact that I was solving an internal problem and not an external one. Now some people will say, तो यार आप तो Lord Buddha बन देंगे 20 साल की उम्र में. तो मैं ऐसा नहीं, probably I was more sorted because for me the journey was never external. It was यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को क्रिकेट के नज़दीक जाना है. तो मेरा lens, so even when I'm telling you that I had 2 years of savings, that cushion or whatever, now for some people this cushion might be as big as this room. Where they're saying my cushion should be my 7 series मेरे पास होना चाहिए, मेरा 4 BHK होना चाहिए, मेरा ये होना चाहिए. तो तुम्हारा cushion भी calibrated होना चाहिए. मेरा cushion था कि मैं survive कर पाऊंगा या नहीं बम्बई में. Would I be able to, during my experimental phase, will my lifestyle be normal? Can I have my one drink outside in a hotel? Can I generally hang around people, whatever? Because I always say that as a male, I am the most evolved male in the world. Why? Because I don't like cars, I don't like watches, and I don't like attention. So God has blessed me with 3 major qualities.
So amazing.
So now, if my calibration of life is based on that, what can affect me? The only time I may get affected कि कोई लोग हैं और उस मोमेंटरी में ये लोग ये कर रहे हैं, बट वो मोमेंटरी है. घर जाके मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं अगला क्रिकेट मैच अगर लाइव देख सकूँ. सो इफ योर जर्नी इज ऑलवेज इंटरनल फर्स्ट, and you don't take yourself seriously and you are not affected by this, easier said than done. Some people might like watches. Now for them, boss, if you are going to experiment with your life's goal and your happiness, then you have to sacrifice Rolex, boss. तुमको Rolex चाहिए मगर तुमको कुछ भी होने का है. तो ये जर्नी आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि it can't happen both. But I am not saying that your basics should not be covered. Your lifestyle, if you've led 7-8 years at a basic level, when I say basic, it means not the external, your internal. कि यार तुम्हारा खाना पीना अच्छा हो रहा है, मगर तुमको 2 साल एक्सपेरिमेंट करने का मौका मिल रहा है. I always looked at it this way. I said 2 years I'll go into this comedy and cricket and all. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? I'll come back with a 30% less salary, but I don't take myself that seriously. So I would again and again say that take your work seriously, don't take yourself seriously. The moment you take yourself seriously, your decision making goes for a toss. And for me, therefore, the decision making became very easy. So I may, for journalists, I tell them, no, it was that moment of truth and all. Yes, it was. When you leave a salary, which is a large salary,
Absolutely.
but you planned something to make you happy. What is the journey at the end of the day? So to summarize it, don't take yourself seriously. The journey should be what makes me happy internally. But at the same time, do the maths properly. अभी MBA में इतना एक्सेल शीट डाल के उतना तो अपन 2 साल का 24 महीने का प्लानिंग कर सकते हैं. तो अगर बड़े कॉर्पोरेशंस का मीडिया प्लान बना सकता था तो 2 साल का अपना तो बना ही सकते हैं. सो आई थिंक वो मैंने करेक्ट किया. और एक बार घुस गए, नीड्स को कैलिब्रेट किया, तो 9 out of 10 टाइम्स सक्सेस मिलता ही है. बट अगर सक्सेस का डेफिनेशन अगर आपका हैरिड्स में 2 करोड़ का शॉपिंग है तो मे बी नॉट.
So coming back to the way your family was set up, right? You mentioned that you come from a simple, conventional Maharashtrian household setup. When you decided to give up on this big chunk salary and move to something unconventional at that point of time, how did your parents react, support, question?
So one good thing I did during my school and college days that I lowered my parents' expectations. So I never got 90% and 95%. So my expectations of my parents were low. I'm not saying people should not study, but I was a 60-65%. So when I got 70%, we celebrated. So thankfully my expectations of my parents were so low that when I got into an MBA, and they were just happy that this fellow is doing something and he will not come to us for money. That worked for me. Now, suppose you are somebody who's got 99% and everybody around you is saying that, ki, boss, she should be in Stanford and Berkeley and blah, blah. You are in trouble. Because, but on the serious side, because they were so clear about the fact that I was clear, right? That I was never in ki, yaar, engineering karna hai ya medicine karna hai. All went through the trap. Don't get me wrong. Everybody was telling me. I also joined engineering for 1 month. So I've gone through that, but quickly I was able to control. कि बॉस ये स्टोरी नहीं है तेरा स्टोरी क्या है? What is your story? This is the most important thing to handle.
Now, cricket entered your life at a very important stage. Let me put it like that. And then, of course, you know, your interactions with high-level athletes, understanding them, that proximity today is very rare. But you've been able to cultivate it. You've been able to base it on a strong foundation and maintain that and blossom it even further. We'll come to your book in a bit. But before we do that, I wanted to understand, when you interview these high-level athletes, what is it that strikes you very quickly about them? Something that as a manager they're doing really well, which if I draw a parallel to, say, our corporate lives, something that a manager today should really pick up and drive.
So it was interesting that even my cricketing journey, for example, was based on something which I truly believe is the only anxiety pill in the world, which is curiosity. If you are curious, you are automatically in therapy zone, right? Because tomorrow if you feel curious about, hey, you know, how are fans made? Your mind will be around, how do fans get made? Can I go to a factory to figure out how fans are made? And then your anxiety of the past and anxiety of the future for that moment gets sorted. right? Non-curious people have nothing to do at that moment, and therefore you remember how your mother behaved badly with you and how your spouse is going to leave you 20 years down the line. You are creating moments. So I believe that curiosity is the fundamental reason of curing your mind. Because the moment you are interested in the world outside you, and that is where your perspective of the world should be external in this case. कि आप क्या करते हो? अच्छा, आप फार्मा एसोसिएशन में क्या होता होगा आपका काम? Immediately my mind would go to your world. And as a writer of jokes or a writer of whatever, we are always looking for characters. Why are you behaving the way you are doing? Why is the camera person? Where does he stay? What is his school of thought? So the moment I am in somebody else's world and I'm curious, I'm automatically in a happy zone. Right? The moment it becomes only about me and what I am suffering and then it all becomes about, I anxious and diabetes, HbA1c will become 6.4. So I was like this with cricket. Ki yaar, I have come here to do the journey of what I wanted to achieve personally. I was a failed cricketer. So for me, if I had a lucrative assignment to do a show, I would still leave that, go on a 1-month tour when India is playing in Australia. And I would hang there. And I would watch the matches. And over a period of time, these cricketers realized that this is not a normal fan. This is a mad fellow, right? And because I played the game to some extent, I knew the world a little bit. I was genuine in when I was approaching them. I asked the right questions, and this created deep relationship with the players like Sachin or Viru. And they realized, yaar, ye banda hai. Ye idhar time pass karne selfie lene nahi aaya.
Correct.
In that journey, I developed these deep relationships because for me, this is what I wanted to be. And now I was in the pond, and this was the closest, right? If I was a fan of Shreya Ghoshal, which I am, the one thing I can do is befriend her. So I befriended her. And when she's in the studio, I go there and listen. As simple as that. I can't be Shreya Ghoshal, but I will try and be in the world. And I genuinely believe if you are genuine in your curiosity, the world tends to, because they also need curious people who want to know about their profession. So that made my journey, and obviously because I was a stand-up comedian, these guys in a way became my little bit of fans also. That he's imitating us, he's telling nice cricket jokes, he's in the world. And that journey of mine where I could understand what you said is the inner world of an athlete, right? And why do I do a lot of talks which is called Sportify, life lessons from sport. Why do we tell life lessons from sport? Because in high intensity areas like sport, the military, the lessons come out in such vivid manner that in a corporate life, when we apply it, we feel, oh man, this is happening at that level. So for us to take a leaf out of that would be so beautiful. And why is that? Why is that message amplified? Is because of the kind of pressure. Like there was this great Australian cricketer who said that, you talk about pressure in cricket, but I fought the World War. When you have two measurements back your lane, that's pressure and not facing the ball, whatever. But he was looking at it from that lens. And that's when in my journey, I understood what leadership means, what teamwork means in a high pressure zone. These boys are coming from different walks of life. So why the fire in a small town India is relatively amplified? How does it get, how does one come out? What is practice? What is purposeful practice? What is amplified practice?
Brilliant.
What is understanding emotions? How is calibrating your emotions? See, you in your job are appraised only by your boss. 1.4 billion people are appraising me when I'm playing, right? So, and I'm at the end of the day 24 years of age only. So, we always look at a cricketer, ये क्या खेल रहा है? But ये 22-24 साल का बच्चा है. But वो zone में जो वो सीखता है ना, उसमें से अगर हमने एक thread निकाल दिया तो हमारे लिए एक अच्छा lesson हो जाता है. To give you an example, I've seen Sachin Tendulkar practice, and when there was this 241 not out that he played, where he didn't play the ball outside the off stump, you don't realize that he has mentally and physically thought through and visualized that game before. Now, how many times do we practice a presentation before we go to a client? How many times have we practiced in corporate life a situation that can arise, maybe COVID, right? So, purposeful practice, when athletes at champions level do this regularly. Manchester United was asked, why do you make goals last minute? Is because Alex Ferguson said we practiced it for 10 years. So every time he would finish a session, he would say 2 minutes to go, I want a goal. So where your muscle memory is calibrated to high performance.
Right.
Now, these lessons, if you apply it to corporate life and you create a scenario in your companies where you are saying that, hey, sales figures are low, what will you do to maneuver in order to reach that number? It's a great lesson for all of us. This is beautiful line in Emotions, which from a musical perspective, that emotions are like 7 notes, right? If they're not in order, it's cacophony, but if it's in order, it's music.
How beautiful.
So emotions is exactly like this. You're going to have it. They are all normal. Because you have emotions, you are passionate. Passion is also an emotion. So how do you calibrate and use these effectively? Sports people do it very effectively because it's high pressure zones. So there are so many lessons that I learned, which I now share with corporates, where I've realized that if I was not in this journey through my curiosity, I would have never grasped this myself. I would have just been making jokes and doing performances. So to cut the long story short, and what you described is that these are the lessons, like how Dhoni led his team. Dhoni would always give a back. He would say to Kuldeep Yadav when he was bowling that Kuldeep, पहला plan तेरा चलेगा. Second plan मेरे पास तैयार है, तेरा fail हो गया. What are the lessons? He's empowering the guy, but he's also supporting him by giving him a backup plan. Now this plays out beautifully when it comes to cricket. And these are things then when you share in the corporate setup, it's not that leaders are not doing it, but it gets beautifully reinforced.
True.
And then you remember this in your normal life as well. So yeah, so curiosity, deep diving into the journey, not thinking about what others say, helped me do things which I would have never thought I would have done.
So coming back to your favorite cricketer, your favorite book that you've authored, let me show this to the audience one more time. So please go and grab a copy again. And so coming to this book now, How Sachin Destroyed My Life. You've been able to get a lot of insights. There is humor. There is a lot of mixture of corporate understanding of how that game is played. Tell me one lesson that has stayed with you after you've written this book or that you've included in the book.
There are a lot of them. So I shared with you a couple of Sachin lessons. There was this beautiful lesson that Virendra Sehwag, now Sehwag is somebody who succeeded because he had clarity in life, right? And I remember asking him, and I put it in the book, about what his idea of switching off was. So he said, यार 2 बॉल के बीच में ना मुझे राहुल द्रविड़ ने बोला था कि मेडिटेशन कर ले. तो मैं मेडिटेशन करता हूँ तो मुझे नींद आती है. तो I had to find a different solution, and that is why he discovered singing as an option between 2 deliveries. He said the anxiety part, see what happens, you play a ball and then you're anxious. You're anxious because the bowler could take your wicket. Your career could go down the line if you get out. So your ability to put your negative thoughts out and fill it with positive thoughts. He said, मुझे नहीं जम रहा था वो. मैं वो deep breathing नहीं हो रहा था मुझसे. तो मैंने कहा कि 2 बॉल के बीच में मैं किशोर कुमार को डाल दूँ. Now this is a very, very good insight.
True.
He is trying to discover the way how his anxiety can be controlled, and that's not a standard operating procedure. And that I put it in the book. Similarly, how Rahul Dravid would approach things. How, even for that matter, there was this amazing lesson that Ian Chappell taught Harsha Bhogle, where Harsha was, and this is a beautiful lesson. He was saying, I was doing a broadcast where I was complaining about the weather. So Ian Chappell came to Harsha Bhogle and said, Harsha, you are paid to describe the game, not complain. And Harsha once told me that it was the biggest lesson of his life, is because if you are focusing on the external, right, rather than what you are supposed to do, you are getting troubled by something which you should not be getting troubled. And your job is to describe what is happening in this beautiful game, so you don't worry about it. So there are so many stories that you hear in the journey. You pick them up, you grasp them, you interpret it in the humor style that I've done. Because for me, I believe that you can entertain first, only then you can educate. And so if you can't make people laugh or you can't make people smile, they're not going to listen to your gyan. So in a way, it was an attempt to do it in a humorous style, but pick out life lessons from my world, which is the world of stand-up comedy, speaking and cricket, and integrate it into a nice book.
Vikram, we have spoken a lot on passion, turning your passion into profession. Not everybody has that kind of a journey or is able to understand and identify the journey for oneself. many people feel it's very unstereotypical, of putting these things together. So if I may understand from you, how did you turn your profession to passion, passion to profession? It's a mix, but
So I'll give you a very unstereotypical answer. And the answer is that passion sometimes I believe is an overrated word, right?
interesting.
Every now and then people say, I'm passionate. But I don't have the time, I can't do it. Yeah, I have a job. If you were so passionate, you would have found out a way to reach your passion. Yes, I accept there are difficulties to chase your passion, but are you really passionate is the first question you should ask yourself. Because sometimes people, like, how we used to write in our CV, hobbies, music.
Yeah.
Yeah, music में क्या है तुम्हारा hobby? सुनते हो, गाते हो. I am passionate about cricket. Means what? Do you play cricket? No. Do you watch cricket? Yes. So you can't be passionate about cricket because you watch cricket, right? If you want to convert your profession or you want to, during your profession, dabble into your passion, first you need to realize that whether you are really passionate or not. If it's going to be a hobby, you can do it when doing a job. There is no job which is so, which makes the person so busy that you can't play a piano. I refuse to believe it. The greatest CEOs I've interviewed, the greatest achievers I've ever spoken to, they've always found time to do what they like. I know so many guys who take skiing holidays every 3 quarters and run 10,000 crore companies.
Wow.
So that I don't agree.
True.
They like to do it, they do it. You like to drink every day in the
always
bar,
find time.
you'll find time to
True.
drink, right? And party and go for. So that's all BS. I don't believe in that. So first you have to say, ki boss, mera passion hai ki nahi. Once you define your passion, you will automatically 80% of the times find a way to chase your passion. And then you do your journey to a point where you feel ki yaar, this passion can become my profession. But that means that you have to still do the 10,000 hours, as Malcolm Gladwell says, of doing your passion. So tomorrow you like to play the tabla, you're playing tabla every day, and you have to play the tabla for 20 years to get on stage.
True.
So if you're playing for 20 years, then you're passionate. नहीं यार, मुझे अगर वक्त मिलता था ना तो मैं तबला बजा सकता था. So I think this needs calibration of whether you are really passionate or not. Otherwise, you do it in a hobby, and I refuse to believe you cannot find time for things that you really like to do.
Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you for hopefully inspiring more people to look at your unstereotypical life and passion and journey and hopefully get inspired from it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
for coming
so much
over.
for having me.
Hope you have enjoyed the episode. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on real and unstereotypical stories.